Hello internet people, my name is Robert and I'm your website guy, and in this video I will show you how to create a resume / personal portfolio website in WordPress. We will create a website like this. You can see there is an About Me section with the possibility to download your resume or any other file. Also, you can add a video where you introduce yourself or your work. It will open up in an overlay like this. Looks really clean and easy to use. Then there will be a skills section where you can list all your main skills, and obviously you need some sort of experience section. You can see it here. This website wouldn't be complete without a portfolio. You can even filter your work based on category like this. Then we will connect your Instagram feed to your website so you can showcase what you've been up to lately. At the bottom you will have a contact form, and we will hook it up with your business email so people can quickly contact you and you can get new leads. On top of that, I'll show you a software so you can create logos like this. And when you click on the menu items here at the top, the site will scroll you to the right section. And the best part, you can even download this template and upload it on your site and then follow along as I go through these. And the website has fully responsive design, so it will work on any device. We will build everything with a drag and drop tool, so you don't need to know how to code. And I mean, we are going to cover pretty much everything you need, from web hosting to even submitting your website to Google. Hey buddy, how do you build websites? Tips with punch. Here's an overview of this tutorial. You can pause the video to check them out, and I'll add this in the description with timestamps so you can check them there. Let's just directly start with your website. Step 1 is to buy a domain and web hosting. And the domain is simply the address you type in the browser. So for example, youtube.com is a domain name. And web hosting is just a place where your website files live and people can freely access them on the internet. It's like a folder on your computer, but online. Most small websites run on shared web hosting. Basically, you are sharing one server with multiple websites. This is why web hosts can offer these services so cheaply. Now, just so you know, there are free web hosts, but I really don't think you should use them for your website. There are many reasons why not, but mainly because your site will be slow to load and it can be deleted at any point because you don't actually own it. So my recommendation is to invest in a good hosting. It's like a foundation of your house. If it's weak, the rest of the house might just crash down. All right, let's get started. Just navigate into the description of this video and click on the first link. You'll land on this page and just click on the first button here to get the hosting and the domain name. And this is the web host we're going to register the hosting and the domain. It's called HostPapa and they're from Canada. My website has been with HostPapa for like 18 months and I've been really happy with them. The website loads fast, the customer service seems to be really efficient, and they are reasonably priced. And as a bonus, if you use the link from the page I just showed you, you get an extra 20% discount, and you support this channel because I get an affiliate commission from the sale. And I know some of you will react like this.
Do me a favor, please. Get out of here. Get out of here, man.
So just scroll down and you can choose between the starter package or the business package. Now the biggest difference between these two is that here in the starter you can only have 2 websites, and for the business you can unlimited websites. So if you know you're going to have more than 2 websites, then select this one. Otherwise you can start with the starter and then you can always upgrade. The good thing about the business one is also they have a bit more capacity in terms of users. But really, if you're just starting out, the starter will be just fine. Then just choose the one you want. So let's say I'm going to go with the starter. And you see here the subtotal is actually quite high, but then if you scroll down and change the period to 12 months, it already decreases, and then there's some extras that you don't really need. And then click on next steps. And this is the hard part actually. You need to find a domain name. If you already know what it is, then type in. So for me it'll be the tips with punch.com. But if you don't know how to choose, there'll be a link in the description to a video where I explain what's the best practice to come up with new ideas for a domain name. Then click on Get My Domain. And the domain is actually included for free for the first year. But what I do recommend, they add this domain privacy, and I do recommend you using it. When you register a domain name with any company, they then provide that information to the Whois database, which basically just gathers all the domain names. And this database is publicly available. If you don't take the domain privacy, they will register the domain name with your details. So just keep the privacy protection, and HostPapa will just fill in the name and address with their own information. Arnie, what do you tell people who are stalking you?
Talk to the hand.
Then fill in your details here. And once you fill in all your details, you'll see here at the bottom, you can actually choose the payment method. So just select if you want to use credit card or PayPal. In my case, I'll be using PayPal. Don't forget to check the terms and conditions. And just so you notice, they also added the VAT to your order. So in my case, it's 21% because I'm in Netherlands. And then click on place your order. And once you ordered, this is the thank you page you'll get. You'll have your confirmation number and also what's gonna happen next. Ka-ching! Oh wait, I guess it's ka-ching to HostPapa. Let me try that again. Ka-ching! Next, you'll receive a bunch of emails from HostPapa. This might take anywhere from 2 minutes to like 15 minutes. The most important ones are this one. If you see verification required, this is for your domain name. So the email looks like this, and if you scroll down, you'll see there's this validate URL. So just click on it, and this just checks your basic details for the domain. They're not going to show up in anywhere in public, but anyway, you just need to verify this. Just click on verify. Nice. And you can just close this one. And the other important email is this: welcome to HostPapa family. I got actually 3 of them, but the most important one is, I think, the first one, where you actually also receive the dashboard client ID, which is this one, and the password, which is this one. So just open up the dashboard. It's here, and put in the client ID. I have my other one here, so just ignore that. And the password. Throw it in, and then just sign in. All right, next you'll have to set up some security questions. Just select a question and then answer them. And once you're done, just click on save.
We're going to play a wonderful game called Who is Your Daddy and What Does He Do?
Okay, great. Now that we have sorted out the web hosting and domain, we need an easy way to build a beautiful design website that we can easily update. That's why step 2 is to install WordPress. You might be thinking, what is WordPress? Well, WordPress is a software that you install on your website so that you can manage your content, such as design, images, and text, without the need for any code. It started as a blogging platform, but now it's grown to so much more. The best part of WordPress is that it's free, and it has like thousands of designs, which are called themes, and thousands of plugins which can upgrade your website to the next level. For example, you could install WordPress and then a plugin called WooCommerce, and you have an e-commerce store. Another benefit is that you have thousands of tutorials about WordPress on YouTube, so you can do it a lot by yourself. Alright, and this is your HostPapa dashboard, and the most useful section of this is my cPanel, so let's start with that. And this is where we're going to actually install the WordPress as well. You can see cPanel here in this small window. If you click on this cPanel logo, it'll open up in a bigger. And here, all you need to do is type in the search box, install, and you'll see this Softaculous Apps Installer. Just click on it. And here, first one, you see WordPress, click on install. And now here we're going to set up WordPress, which is a CMS, and it just means that you can manage all your content from one place. So it's a content management system. So let's start by choosing the version. Just take the latest one, and then let's choose an installation URL. Since HostPapa comes with free SSL, we will choose this HTTPS option. The only thing to keep in mind, the free SSL will be enabled 24 hours after domain registration. If you like to have www, that's up to you. I prefer not to have it, so just the HTTPS. I'm going to select that one. This is my domain. And directory, I'll keep it empty because I want WordPress to be on this whole domain. Then you can give your site a name. So Tips with Punch Tutorials, and description. And here you'll set up an admin account for WordPress. So you can change the username. This is what's going to show up also in the posts. So you could already set up admin, or you can just put your own name and then generate a password. And please make your password more secure than just password 1234. And then the email, for now we can keep this one. We'll set up an email so you can change it later to whatever you want. But if you, for example, know already you want an email like, I don't know, in my case it would be just robert@thetipswithpunch.com. I could add it like this. And then choose the language. And you can skip all these plugins for now. I'll provide you with the link where you can just download all the required plugins later on. And then there's advanced options, but we're not going to touch any of those. So let's just close it up. And here, don't select any of these themes. It's just extra weight for your website. Let's not do that. And we're going to install a good WordPress theme a bit later. Just click on install. All right, once the installation is done, you can click on these links. So I'm going to open up in a new tab. You'll see this warning, and it's normal just because you have HTTPS and the SSL certificate is not yet installed, so it's going to give you this. And this hideous warning will go away once the free SSL is enabled in 24 hours. But let's click on this advanced, and then accept risk and continue. And here you can see a very simple website which we're going to change and make very pretty in just few clicks. But the cool thing is the website is already online. So if you want to do a 10-second victory dance like this, but only if you're wearing tank top with suspenders. Suspenders. So good today. So next, let's install a WordPress theme, which will just give a pretty design to our website. Now, if you go back to the dashboard, you can click on this second URL, which is the WordPress admin. And it will log you in automatically. And here you can see this is a WordPress dashboard. And let's start by just installing a proper theme, so then everything looks nice. And we can do that by going to here on the left, go to Appearance, Themes, and then here at the top, click on Add New. And then in the search box, type in Astra. And you can see this one, Astra theme. Just click on Install. And this will take a bit of time. But once it's done, click on Activate. How's it going, Clint?
With all due respect, sir, you're beginning to bore the hell out of me.
The demo website looks great, but before customizing it, let's quickly set up an email with our new domain, because you will probably want to use this email on your site anyway. So step 4 is to set up an email address with your new domain so it looks more professional when you send out emails to your customers or to your recruiters. So let's head to the tab with Softaculous. And then here at the top you have the control panel, just click on it. And in this view, if you go to email, you see here email accounts, just click on it. And for now it's empty. besides this one, but it's default one, you don't want it. So just click on create, and I want to just have my first name and then the tipswithpunch.com. Here you can set a password. So let me generate one. And then the storage space, you can keep this as a 500 megabytes for now, and you can keep everything else as is, and then click on create. And that's it. You have now an email. So let's say I want to write, just to test it, I'm going to use my Gmail to write here. Test email. And then back to cPanel. And then here you have check email. If you click on it, and here you can see it directly in your window. Let's say I choose this horde and open. You'll see here that there's this welcome email, and this email is quite useful actually if you want to set up your email for some other client like Outlook, or maybe on your iPhone, in your iPhone mail, and they have all the instructions here. I'll leave also in the description how to set this up. And as you can see here, also my test email arrived. And this way you have your own email inbox, and you can create up to 100 email accounts with the starter package. And that should be just more than enough. So you can start giving out emails like Oprah. You get an email, you get an email, you get an email. Step 5 is to install the most useful WordPress plugins that will help you with website load time, search engine optimization, and security. I'm going to show you how to adjust settings for one plugin first, because we need the plugin while designing our website. And then at the end of the video, I'll show you why you need the rest of the plugins. So let's take a look. And you can do it easily by just going to the first website we open up. And here, just scroll down to the step 2 and click on download plugin, and then click on save. And this will save a file in your folder. And this is just a plugin that actually, with one click, you'll be able to download all the plugins you need. So just save the file and then head to your WordPress dashboard and just navigate to plugins, add new. And then click on upload plugin and browse. Select this file you just downloaded and open it and click on install now. And this plugin is super simple. I've created it myself. It's only a list of other plugins, but the cool thing about it is once you activate it, it'll suggest you to install all those plugins in one go. So here at the top you see this team recommends the following plugins, blah blah blah. So just click on begin installing plugins, and all of these plugins will be installed in one go, so you don't need to go and install them one by one. And these plugins help you with security and backups, and also just in general website load speed and SEO, which is super important. So let's go ahead and click on this checkbox, and in the drop down select install and then click on apply. Now this will take a bit of time because there's several plugins there. All right, and once it's done, you'll see this page, and you can just go to, on the last link, click on it, return to required plugins installer, and again click on this checkbox and select activate, and then click on apply. Arnie, tell the audience the plan.
Now this is the plan. Get your ass to Moz.
Mind-blowing, Arnie, mind-blowing. First, I'm going to show you how to set up a plugin called Rismushit, because we need it while designing our website. And at the end of the video, I'll show you the rest of the plugins and the best settings for them. And if you go to media, and here you have Rismushit, and this is your image compression plugin. So the cool thing is, if you have already images there, you could optimize all of them. And what it does, it just compresses the images so that they take up less space without compromising the quality. So what you need to do here in the settings, make sure that on upload. So every time you upload an image, it will actually do it for you right there. So you don't need to do it yourself. And then also put the image quality. Let's put the 92, which is default anyway. And then enable statistics so you can see how much it actually optimized stuff. And then save changes. Alright, I got back to my WordPress dashboard, and one thing I want to mention before we continue, if you ever log out or anything, let's do that. I'm going to log out. You can always come to this page by typing in, so you type in your domain name and then /wp admin. And it will just redirect you to this page, and then you can log in. So I'm back to my WordPress dashboard, and let's next just set up some of the basic settings for WordPress. And you can do that by going settings and then permalinks. Now by default, WordPress sets the permalinks, which are your links to your posts and stuff, to date and name. I'm really not a big fan of this, because then you have a date in your URL. It just looks ugly, and I don't think it's very beneficial for SEO. So my recommendation is to go with just post name. You can do the custom structure where you have post name, and before it, if you click on just before it, you can click here on category. This just means to say category and then your post name. So let's say you do a tutorial about websites, that's the category. So websites / how to build a website would be the post name. But the shorter the URL, the better. So you might as well just keep it as sample post. Or maybe you want to keep it so that it's your posts are only for your blog. In that case, you could go custom structure. And then here you can type in /blog. And then keep the post name as is. And I'm gonna keep it this way because this is my business website, and all the posts I'm gonna make is going to be in the blog. So posts are just like articles in WordPress language, and then pages are actual pages like your home page or maybe about us page and stuff like that. And you see here is posts and pages. That's the difference. And then scroll down and click on Save Changes. I hope all of that didn't make you as confused as John. Step 6, it is time to create a website logo and favicon so your website looks more professional. And for this, we will use an online design tool called Canva. So on this page, just scroll down to step 3 and click on Go to Canva. And you'll end up on this page. Just sign up. You can choose which way you sign up. And then type in your name, email, and password. And it's totally free, and I'm going to show you quickly how to create a logo. I'm going to log in because I already have an account. And you'll end up on a page like this. And this is basically Canva's dashboard. And what I like about Canva the most is it's so versatile. So they have things for logos, infographics, thank you cards, like for social media, something for Instagram, videos. They just have anything you need in terms of design. And a lot of those features are also free. So just click on Create Design here at the top. And we're going to select Custom Dimensions. And then type in 726 by 192. This will fit the theme perfectly. So create new design. And let's give it a name here at top. Just change it to my logo. And let me give you a quick overview of Canva. So basically here on left you have all kinds of different templates and options to choose from. So you have templates. For now it's not that much, but then you have upload, so you can upload your own stuff. So here's an image I uploaded some time ago. You have photos. These are images of real people or like real objects, real life images that you can choose from. Elements that we're gonna use for the logo. There's a lot of them, and some of them are free. Then you have the text, so you have some presets for different kinds of text. You have music, video, same thing for backgrounds, so if you want to have a bit more, some sort of texture for the background. And then this stuff is to save your own stuff and purchased items. But let's get just started with the logo. So we're going to go to elements, and you can just start typing here whatever you're looking for. So for example, I am going to build a website for my profession, conversion rate optimization, and it's all about having better results on your website. So for that, I want to use an arrow. So you can see that there's this little crown with Pro. That means it's something you have to pay for, but there's also free options like these here. And all you have to do is just either double click on it and it will appear here, or just drag and drop it. So you don't see it right now, but if you go here in the color wheel and select the color, you can see it appears now. And you can resize it easily here. I feel like I added 2 of these, so I'm going to delete it. I just pressed on backspace on my keyboard. Alright, so this is good. And maybe I want to add something with web pages. Let me try with a page. Something like this, just to have it in the background, so I can do like this. Obviously this is wrong order. If I right click on it, there's more options, so I can now send it to back. Something like this. Alright, for now it's fine. This is just a quick tutorial, and now we can add some text. And here you can choose some of these templates. So let's say you like this one, you can just click on it, it will appear there, and you can change the text to whatever you want. So just click into it and start typing. Now adding like this one, let's see which one would fit my brand more. I think I like this font, so I'm gonna just use that one. Need to delete this. You can also right click on it and delete. So I'm going to use this one. I don't need this one here, so I'm going to ungroup it. And then I'm able to also delete it. Alright. And I'm going to keep my logo simple. Just my name. I'm going to make it bigger. And I wanted to fill in the whole screen as much as it can. Now it's nicely aligned. These two. And I don't like the color. So one thing that I want to check is that depending on the color of your website, also your logo will change. So if I have now dark text here, but my website is also dark color, then it won't work that well. And if I click on the background, you see it's selected. Now in the color wheel, you can select or type in the color code. I'm just gonna paste the one that I copied, and basically this is the color that the website will be. So as you can see, dark color or black doesn't work, so I need to change this to white. For text, it's here. Just gonna have white. Yeah, like that. And maybe what I can do is I'll change this dots color, and you can just select that part and change the color to whatever fits you. This one, so same as the arrow. All right, I feel like this one is a bit extra now. I'm gonna delete it, and I'm gonna just keep this arrow. Lower. You can also nudge any element on the canvas by pressing on the arrows on your keyboard like this. All right, I think this is fine for this. Hey, and don't worry if your logo looks like this right now. Logo. You can always update it later. So what now? You don't need to save it, always saves it automatically, but now we need to download this. So you just come here and click on download, and I would suggest PNG for if you want it transparent. Unfortunately, with the free account of Canva, you cannot export it with transparent background, but don't worry, we're going to use a tool that will remove this background for us. and I'm just going to download it for now. All right, save. And now open a new tab and go to a website called remove.bg. And here you can see you can drop a file. So now I'll just go to this, to my logo, and I'm gonna drop it here. Now it will process it, and you can see it removed all of the background. It looks really nice like this. So just click on download, and it's gonna download a transparent PNG on your computer that you can later on use. All right, awesome. So this is great, but we also need a design for favicon, and favicon is basically this little icon that you see in the tabs. It's pretty simple. It's really small square, but let's go to the home page and let's create a new design, because with the free plan you cannot copy designs. That's why you need to create another custom dimension. In this case, we're just going to create a 80 by 80 pixel canvas, and I just need that arrow again, arrow up. No, need to go to elements. This is the same arrow. Need also the same color. I think I add this one. Like this. Great. And again, I'll just click on this one and change the background color to the same color as our website. Right. And don't forget to give this a name. Favicon like this. And now again, just download it. Save. Close the stuff and go back to remove.bg, and here at the top you can upload an image. So I have favicon here. Let's do that. And click on download. Nice. We're gonna use both of these later on in the tutorial. For now, I'm happy that we have saved them. The only thing is that it saves them with a weird name, so it's just going to be called something like -remove bg preview. So you can now give it a proper name like favicon for a website, so that I can find them later. Okay, now we can close up this one. I'll keep this one open. We might need some of the colors later on. I'm going to close the favicon and the home page. And let's head back to the WordPress dashboard. Hey, if you liked the video so far, consider hitting the like button. That will help me a lot with the YouTube algorithm. Step 7 is probably the most time-consuming step. This is where we will customize your website to match your needs and where you will fill in your website with content. Don't worry, I'll even show you where to get royalty-free images so that you're all covered. So get ready. I'm in the WordPress dashboard, and let's get started with updating the page. So let's set up some of the basic settings first, and you can do that by going to Appearance and then Customize. So right now there's not much to see here, it's kind of empty, but we want to start with the global and typography and base typography, and this is where you start setting up the basic fonts and stuff like that. So for example, you can choose here, I like this one, Spartan, or you can use some of the other Google fonts like Roboto. There's a lot, it really depends on your preference, but you see it changes right in front of you here, right in this tool, Customizer tool. Also, I recommend to have a bigger text size. Google recommends 16 and above. I like it a bit bigger, so I'm going to put it here. And then the rest looks fine to me. Yes, looks fine. We can go back and change the headings. In the headings, if you want to change something, go for it. But honestly, these settings are quite good. Maybe you want to make the heading 1 bigger or heading 2 smaller. That really, I think you'll get a hang of it once you start building this. So this is not for now. Let's go back. There's much more important is the colors. So let's start with the base colors, and here you start typing. So because my website will be on a dark background, I'm gonna make the text white. So I'm just gonna select from this color picker a white text. Right now this disappeared just because it's white and white. Then I have the color of my logo, the highlight that you saw, and you can get this color by coming to Canva, clicking on the element you want, and then you have color here and new color, and this is the code that you need to enter also in WordPress and Elementor later on. And I'm gonna copy that color here also, like this. And also link colors, I want to have the same color like that. So now you'll see these will change slightly. Then also hover cover color, just putting the same color as this, but then I'm gonna make it a bit darker. So then there's a little bit of an effect when you hover over it. So you see it gets a little darker like this. It's fine. And then the heading colors and stuff, you can change those as well. Let's take it and let's make it white just in case. And then background color, I'm gonna use this dark color like this, and you can see that we start seeing some of the text. And don't worry about this part right now, you can fix it later on, but for now just click on publish, and let's head back, and one more back, and then container we can skip for now. There's nothing interesting. And buttons, this is where you can set also button colors. So for me it'll be white text and blue background like this, and then button text typography. Again, I'm gonna inherit it, so it's gonna have also that Spartan. But one thing I want to make it here is I want to make it also 18 pixels, and then I'm gonna click on publish. So let's go back and one more back. Then we have header, site identity, and this is where we're gonna enter our logo. So just upload your logo. I have it here like this, open. You can see that Rismushet optimized it for us. Then give it a name, alt tag, or actually it will be just logo like this, and select. And you can skip cropping for this one, you don't need to crop it. And now you can see it kind of appears there, but right now the header color is white, so it's also fading away. So here I'm gonna give the logo some width, 170, so it's not too big. Site icon is really cool one. It's this favicon that I mentioned before. So let's select that one as well. Upload files. And here's my favicon. Gonna select it and give it a alt text and select. Skip cropping. Now you can see that here you have your favicon. Now you can change the site title. I'm going to change it to like this, over to our portfolio website. But I'm not going to display it anywhere, so I'm just going to remove it. I don't want it to show up anywhere on the site. And let's give it a tagline, something like that. But again, it doesn't show up anywhere, so it's only in the meta description and stuff like that. Hit publish, so it saves it, and then go back. In primary header, there's nothing to set because the defaults are quite good, but here you can set also if you want to have your logo in the middle and then the menu also underneath it. But I like the setup like this, so I'm going to skip this one. I'm going to take primary menu And we're actually gonna set this up a bit later. For now, we can skip it. Just go back. And transparent header, that's an important one so that we can start seeing the header here. So first of all, enable it on the complete website. And I'm gonna remove this, that it's disabled on some pages. For now, I wanted to see it everywhere. So you see now it appeared. It's great. And then you have more settings here for the header and menus, but it's hard without having it. So we're going to come back to this later. So just publish it. And let's go back to the customizer. And honestly, right now, I think it's easier to start building the website. And we're going to come back whenever we need to adjust the menus and things like that. Also footer. So I'm going to click on the X. And you go back to WordPress dashboard, and now we go to pages and add new pages. All right, just click here and give it the name home page. Right now it's a bit tricky because you don't see it, it's white, but we just need to give it a name. You can see it's there. Just when you see it, click on publish, publish again. And then let's edit it with Elementor. This is the main page builder we're going to use. It's a drag and drop tool. You'll see why so many people like to use it. So before starting with all the elements and how to use it, let's set up some basic stuff. So just click on this hamburger menu and site settings, and then choose global colors. And this is quite important section. It's gonna save a lot of time for you if you do this once and properly. So what you need to do here is set some of your primary colors, secondary, text, and accent, and then you can add your own colors. So for example, for me, the primary color is white. It's mostly used for text and stuff like that, so I'm gonna set it to white. My secondary color will be a highlight color, which is a bit like a yellowish. I'm gonna add it here. I already chose these colors. And then the text will be also gonna put it as a white. Then accent will be actually the blue one. So accent is used in the buttons and stuff like that. So I'm going to use the blue one here. And now I'm going to add a couple colors for the background. So I'm going to use 2 colors for backgrounds. So first one is a bit darker, like this. Give it a name and then add another color. And you could just click on this and start, choosing color from yourself. I suggest you just take a example website and use colors from there because they already picked at least colors that kind of match. But if you think you know what you're doing, just do your thing. And I'm gonna add also name for this, BG support. And then let's go back and also set the global fonts. So you could set things here. Well, honestly, right now, the primary one is Roboto. I like to use Spartan. Same thing for this one, Spartan. And again, Spartan. So you could use different fonts for different elements. So for example, titles could be one font and then the text is something else. I'm gonna use one for all of them. And like this. So now at least they're all the same font family. And now I can just update this and go back. And here you can set more things like typography, but I think these are okay as is by default. So I'm not gonna update anything right now. Let's go back. Just one thing was, let's set the background also here. Click on this pen icon and then color. And now you can choose your background main color. If you want, it could be also an image, but I'm not gonna go that way. And I'm gonna make sure also in typography, actually, I'm gonna just select white text so that it's clear. Let's go back. All right, I think we are ready to rock and roll now. So let's click on update and then click on this X. You'll see it turns red. That means we're back in the editing mode.
Enough talk!
If you're more experienced with Elementor, then you can just download a template I prepared for you and import it, and then follow along. But if you're a complete beginner to Elementor, then I would recommend building everything from scratch so you can learn the basics of Elementor. If you want to get the template, go to the first link in the description of this video. Then just scroll to the bottom of this page and then you can click on this download template. Now, one thing I do want to mention is before you import this file, make sure you have these plugins. If you don't, then some sections won't show up. So make sure you save this and just download it. Then in WordPress dashboard, head to pages and add new page, or in this case, we already have this home page, and click on edit with Elementor. Just click on this file icon. And here, just click on this icon. It's an arrow, upwards arrow. Just click on it. This is the icon to import everything. Select the file you just downloaded. In my case, it's here. And open it. Now, it'll import everything. And once it's ready, you'll see a new template in my template section. And here you can just click on insert. And now it will generate everything on your page. So now you can see here, you have now everything imported and you can now follow along this tutorial and change it as you go. All right, so now we start with building this website, and Elementor is quite easy to use. Here you have this plus, just click on it, and now you can actually select the structure for this section. So I'm going to use this dual section or 2-column section. Now we're going to enter an element here and here, and it's easy. Always you can click on this mosaic element and you'll see all of these. And we're going to start with the heading like this. It's kind of tight right now, so I'm going to change that right now. Let's go to advanced, and there's this thing called margin, and if you add the top one, actually need to unlink it. I don't want it to be on right or left, so I want to have 120 on top, 0 on right, 120 on bottom, and 0 on left. And you can always unlink them by clicking on this button. Now, if you right click on these, if you right click on this element, you can see that you have more options to choose from. So I'm gonna click on edit heading. We're actually in it already. So let's go back to content, and this is where you can type in your text. So I already have a text. I'm gonna just add it here like this. And actually I just noticed I made a mistake. I added that margin in the wrong place. So let's go back and change this to 0 like it was. And actually what I need to do is here on the side, when you right click on here, you see that edit section. And when you click on this one, it's edit heading. So when you're editing the section, you're actually editing this whole block here. You see the big one here. So now if I go to advanced, I make sure, okay, these are automatic, so I can just put the 120 here, and now you see that they both moved. So this margin is added to this big section. So there's 120 pixels on top and at the bottom. All right, awesome. I'm gonna edit the heading again, go to content, and here you can add things. I want this to be my header 1, which is the main heading of the page. Every page should have one header 1. That's what Google likes. All right, looks good. I need to go to add a bit of text. So I go click on the mosaic, and here you have text editor. You can drag and drop it just below this header, and you see there's text underneath. So again, here you can start typing. And as you can notice, you can also add, you can bold the text, add an italic, even links. I have already a text here, so I'm going to paste it like this. Now, to me, this looks a bit small, so I'm going to go to the style tab. And here you have typography. I'm going to click on this pen icon. And I'm going to increase the size here to 18. Did it increase? Yes, it did. Like this. Right? So now we have text. And maybe I want to also highlight some stuff here. So let's go to content. And let's say I want to highlight this. Data driven. And this 1 million. So you see they get bolded. And okay, that looks good. I'm happy with that. And one more thing I want to add here is a button that either you could add contact me there, but actually this is more of a hire me, so there'll be a CV there or something like that. I'll show you how to add the button. Again, click on Mosaic here and you have a button here. Just add it here at the bottom of the text. And you see here again, edit button. You can start editing it here. So first of all, you can choose the type, but usually you want to keep it default. That's just kind of color. So I'm going to add it here. Click here. It's going to be download CV. And now I don't have anything to attach to it, so to link to it, but I'm going to do that in a second. I'm going to make it a bit bigger. So I want to have a large button like that. I could add an icon. So for example, if you click here and then you can search for download. So for example, I could add this one. Actually, this one represents better. Insert. You see now there's an icon and you can even choose if it's before or after. And icon spacing. If it's too close, you can always move it slightly like this. Nice. So now I want to actually link this to something, and the easiest way is to actually you open up a new tab, actually go to your website, and from here go right click on dashboard and open link in the new tab, because I don't want to leave Elementor for this. So I'm going to come here in dashboard. Now we're going to upload some media. So you go to media and add new. We're going to upload a Word file that the users can download later. So I already have it here. It's my CV. I'm just going to open it and you'll notice it's now uploaded. And if I click on edit, you can copy the URL here. Just click on this button. You see copied. I can close this one. And now I can put it here. The whole URL, you see, it's with my domain name. Like this. And now I'm going to click on update because I want to see what's going on the site itself. So if I go to the website and then I'm going to refresh it, you'll see there's nothing there yet, which is kind of a shame because I forgot to show you one thing. So if you go to your WordPress dashboard, and now if we go to settings and reading, and here you need to your homepage displays, static page, choose homepage, and then save changes. Just gonna go to the dashboard, and now I can go here, refresh the page, and you can see everything we added is now there. And if I click on this button, it will ask me to save this file. That's great. All right, let's go back to Elementor, and now we need to fill in this one. So again, mosaic, and now I actually need a video, and we have the option here, so I can just drag and drop it here like this. Now it's gonna have a default video there, but now I don't want to have this YouTube default player. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna remove the player controls, and I'm gonna here, choose image overlay. Enable it. I'm going to choose an image. Let's upload it. I have this nice image here. I'm going to give an alt text. And then insert media. And you see now it's the same image that I have, and there's an icon on top. I'm going to enable Lightbox like this. So now if I click on this, it will actually open up the video here. So if you want to update with your link, you can just add it here, no problem. And you can use YouTube, or you could use a video on your server. But I recommend you use YouTube and not store the video on your hosting, because it's quite slow to load. It takes up a lot of bandwidth. You just don't want to get into it unless the video is very short. One more thing, I would like to change this icon, and you can do that in style. So I want to change this color of this icon. You see play icon, click on it, and now I can select accent like this. Yep, I like that. And now you can also adjust the size if you want, but I think the default was fine. So I'm gonna remove any number added, and I do want some shadow, so I'm gonna add it. Just add a little bit of shadow. It's a bit hard to see if it's even there. And then if you want to update the lightbox, but honestly I kind of like how it is now. This works for me completely fine. Just click on update. Arnie, how do you like my about me section?
One ugly motherfucker.
Now, if at any point you want to have some images that are royalty free and you can use on your website, then I'll show you a few websites where I get mine. I have a full video. It will appear in your screen's top right corner right now. It's the white thingy here. But basically, let me show you my favorite one is Unsplash. So if you go to Google and search for it, you'll get there. So this is a library with a lot of freely usable images. So for example, if you need something from Office, so you see you have images here and you can just use them, click on them, and then you can download and even choose the size. So really a great source for images. Another good place is a website called Pexels. And what they also have, they have some videos. So for example, if you want to have a video background, this would be a great thing. For example, the other day I was looking for a data video, so something related to data. And for example, you could have something like this. Let me search for the videos. That was photos. So here are all the videos. So for example, this one, this guy is working on some data stuff. So it could be a nice background video for the website. But really up to you. Obviously, if the resume is about you, the videos should be also yours, but it's really up to you how to use these. So now I'm gonna add another section. Again, I'm gonna click here and select the 2 columns section. And on the left, I'm gonna add just a heading. So this is gonna be the skills section, like this. And then I'm gonna also add a text edit just underneath explainer text. And here you can type in whatever you need, but I'm gonna keep this one empty because I want it to be on the left. But if you right click on this edit column, I don't want for it to show up on mobile, so I can actually switch it off there. So you have here in advanced, responsive, and you can hide it on mobile. Now, why would you want to hide it on mobile? Is because otherwise it'll just be empty space and there's no reason to have that. Another thing you can do here is if you edit this section and you go to style, you have the background. If you click on this pen icon or brush icon, I guess this is, now you can also change the background color of this one. And I'm going to use the support. You can see that now I have 2 colors. Also, I need to add a section with 3 columns. It should be right underneath this one. And we're going to add a skills section. So the best thing to use for it is an icon box. You see that there's a lot of options here, and also they're promoting the Pro, which is a premium plugin. But what we need is this icon box. So I'm going to drag that here. Now you can see here an icon, and you can change it by clicking here to whatever you want. For example, atom. So there's a lot of options there. I'm going to insert it. And let's add some information. So business strategy and some blah 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 text here describing the text, the skill. I could add a link here, but I don't want to. And also you can change the icon position if you want to, but I think for this one the top one works. Now if you go to advanced, we're gonna make this into more of a box. Let's add a bit of padding, so I'll just add 30 to all of them like this, and then also border type, solid, and also here you can set how the width of the border, and also the color. I'm going to use the yellow one in this case. You don't necessarily see it because it's selected now, but if you go here, you see there's a border now. Now, actually, I want it to be a bit different, so I'm gonna go into section and under style, the background, click on the brush. I'm gonna give the same background, the support background color like this. Nice. And now if I click to edit the icon box, I can give another background color for this specific element. Like this and like this. So now it really stands out. Yeah, looks good like that. So once you've added one, it's you should work on one as long as until you're happy with it. And then what you can do is right click on this, and you can duplicate it. It will go underneath, but you can also, where the pen is, just grab it, you can move it to this section. Same thing. I'm gonna change this to something else. Brand strategy, icon, something like a puzzle. Just something that kind of makes sense for this one. And then you can also change the text here. Again, once happy, I can duplicate this and drag it here. Same thing, edit icon, and change it to, I don't know, let's say I, this, insert. And now you can also change visual design and update the text to whatever you want. And same thing if you want more of them, so then I'm going to duplicate it, and this one too, and this one. Now we have 6. Obviously, if you have less, then you can also remove these and change the structure to 2 column, so that you have only 4 sections. So to do that, you could just come here. You see where this icon is? This is the column icon, and you can right click on it and you can delete it. And you see it updates. But I actually like the 6 column layout, so you can always go back by going from history, and you can click here. You have the history, what you've done, and you can always click back there. Also, Control Z usually works on your keyboard, but it doesn't always work. And since we have the section now, let's update this so that it saves it. Now, I want to show you something cool. So you can add this dividers, or actually they're called something else. Let me show you. So edit section. So I'm going to edit this top section. And actually, instead of margin, I'm going to add the padding. So like this, but I don't want it to be everywhere. So remove it from right and left like this, and this one should be 0 margin, like this. And then if you go to style, you have this shape divider, and these are really cool because let's say just select the bottom one, and now you can select mountains. You don't see anything. Well, let me show you. When you change color like this, you see each section is kind of connected. So you could have mountains or drops like this ones, or clouds, or there's quite a lot of them. Things like this, arrows. I like the clouds for this theme, so I'm going to keep it like this. But it's important that the colors match. So this sections and the bottom here matches, then it looks really great. You can also change them, like invert them like this. So then it looks like this one is having it. But for me, I actually like it this way. Let's scroll down and add the same thing here. So in this section, if you right click on it, edit section, you can go to advanced. In this case, we don't need to add padding on top because there's enough space here. But we can add, let's say, I'm going to unlink and I'm going to add at the bottom 60. Maybe too little, 120. And in style, we can add shape divider. And then click on bottom. And here, clouds. You see it gives you white because that's the default one, but I'm going to change it to this one. And you see that we have more of this. So let's update this. And now if you go to your home page, refresh it, you can see you have text, the video here. You can click on it, it opens up the slide box with the YouTube player. Then these nice shape dividers, you have the skills, you have each of them here in a block. And now this doesn't look good right now because we are gonna have more sections there, so let's continue with this.
Get to the chopper!
Okay, next let's add an education experience block. And what we can do is we come here at the top, then here on the side, just right click on it, and let's duplicate this one like this. You'll see you have 2 of these. Now you can grab this section by clicking on these 6 dots, and then if you scroll down, you can add it here at the bottom like this. This way you can have the section already preset with the clouds here at the bottom, and you can just delete these. Right click on it, delete, delete, and now you have 1 section here. Actually, I need to make 2 columns, so I can right click on it and add a new one. So you see we have 2 ones here. And at any point, if you want to have a bit, for example, now they're 50-50, you can see they're the same size. You can always drag them like this, and then you can make them different sizes. But 50-50 is good for me now, like this. So what we do is, let's go click on the mosaic, add a heading like this. And this will be education and experience. And then again on mosaic, I'm gonna add an icon box. Icon box. It looks like this. Just drag it underneath the title. And this doesn't look much right now, but we're gonna modify it a little bit. So let's start with the icon. Let's choose something else. I'm just gonna use an example. Google, they have icons already here. So let's say I worked at Google. So then what you can do here, add what the title is. And for example, you could add here Google. So let's say I'm still working there, then you can leave it like this, for example. Now to make it a bit more appealing, we can move the icon to the left, for example, like this. A bit too close. We're gonna adjust that in a second. So I want to have a bit more space for the icon. The rest look fine. Then let's style it a little bit. So the spacing, I want to push out this a little bit like this. And content This looks actually fine. We can go to advanced, add a bit of padding so it's inside of the block like this. So the difference between margin and padding is just that, let's say the blue box is the element, padding adds the inside of the element, and margin is outside. So if I add now 20 margin, you don't see it because the element is actually here, but it's adding it to the top here, just so you know. Make it 0 like this. And I want to have a different background. I'm gonna use the brush and then select this one. And then what we can do is add some border. Very simple. So border type solid. I'm gonna add 2 and then make it, for example, yellow. And now if I click out of it, you see it looks more like a box with information. Same thing. Obviously, we don't all work for Google or Facebook or any big companies that the icon library already has it. What we can do is use an image box, which is kind of the same. Let's go and search for image box. And it's pretty much the same thing as icon box, but has an image. So now we can choose a logo, for example. I don't know, I have this one here. Oh, we can add the icon of our employer and insert the media. I'm gonna make it smaller, although in this case it doesn't matter as much. And then I'm gonna move it to the left. And otherwise I'll start it same thing. Let's give it actually I made it wrong. I need to put it here. So let's say 12 to like this, and then something like this. And now we need to do the same things. Add the padding. It was 20 all around, and same thing, background, pen, and add a background here, so support, and then also the borders. So border solid, and then you add how thick the border is, and then the color of the border. So in my case, it'll be yellow. So then it looks like this. So you can see that the image here is much bigger, so we can adjust that too. So in the content, in the style section, you have the spacing, so we can add spacing if we want, and also the width. So if you want to make it a bit more like the icon, you can make something like this, or if you want to have bigger, it's fine also. We can adjust that. Something like this looks good. I'll adjust here as well. I want to kind of them so that they're roughly aligned, the text aligns. Something like this. I think that looks fine. And then if you have more things to add here, you can always just copy this. So you right click on this and then duplicate it. And now you can just change the information here, and you can have more of these like this, for example. Okay. So I think that's quite clear. And now what we can do is go to the mosaic again. And in this case, we are going to add a stats bar. And for this, we actually need to install a few different widgets. So for next section and for this section, we're going to have a few plugins that we need to install. So let's update this one and head back to the WordPress dashboard and go to plugins section and just add new. So what we need is, let's go to the search box, Astra widgets. And you should see this plugin. Just install it. And don't forget to activate it. Now let's go back and add another one. So what we need here, if you search for it, just go and type in live mesh. Like this. And you have this add-ons by live mesh. Let's install that one. and activate it. I'm gonna skip this one. And now I need to go back to add new. What I need is also contact form. And it's called contact form 7. It's super popular. You might have even heard about it. Install now and activate it. And two more plugins that we need. Portfolio. Oops, need to go to the add new. Portfolio. We need portfolio post. Type. It looks like this. Just install it and activate. And this will create a portfolio for us. And then a last one for Instagram, Smash Balloon. Oh, again, need to add the plugin, not in, this is the existing library. Smash Balloon. And you need this Smash Balloon social photo feed. This is for Instagram, so you can have a nice looking Instagram feed right on your website. So activate it as well. Okay, great. So now let's go to Elementor add-ons and in the settings. Let's change the theme color. And I'm gonna just put white so that it doesn't mess up anything else. Hover cover color. Also, I'll put white for now. Doesn't really matter. We're gonna change those things anyway. And then elements, you can deactivate things here and add some custom CSS, but I think we're okay just for this. Just save it. And now we can go back to Elementor. Let's refresh this page. Make sure you've saved it. And now if you search, you should have stats bar. Now this is what we want. Let's scroll down. And in the second column, we're gonna add the stats bar. It's quite simple. Pull tool looks like this. Right now the text is not really visible, but we're gonna change that in a second. Let's go here in style and stats bar background color. You'll notice that you can choose something else. And this is just the color behind the bars. It's here. I don't want white. I want to have this one. Okay, great. Then we can also adjust the stats bar spacing. So I'm gonna make them a bit further away from each other, and then stats bar height, so you can make them thicker. I'm gonna make them quite thick like this. Then you have the stats title, which will be white for the title text. You can also change the typography, so I'll just check that it's the correct one. Yeah, default, I'm okay with that. You could also make it a bit thicker. For example, I could choose, yeah, like this with the primary. And then you have the stats percentage. That's the percentage number right here. So I can make it a different color like this. Then you have advanced. And here I wanted to align this box with this box. So I'm gonna add a bit of margin just to the top part. So let's try with 50. Yeah, just a little bit like this. Now it looks like they're aligned. Good. And it's still orange. I don't want it to be orange like this. So what we can do is go to content, and now we can, if you click on this part, so web design, you can change what it is here. So for example, I don't know, A/B testing. You can put a different percentage value. So I don't know, you can change it to 93. I'm very confident with that. And then you can change the color of the bar here. I'm gonna just make them all yellow like this. Sometimes it doesn't take it, you see, I chose yellow but nothing happened. Just click on the color again and it will change. Same thing with the next one. So here, yeah, same here for this one. So let's say, just change it to whatever you want. This. And the percentage and obviously the color. Again, didn't take, so I'm gonna refresh it like this. One more. And increase it to a bit higher. Like this. And then you can always just copy it like this by pressing this button. And you have it again here below. Something like that. And now you have a nice bar with different skills. Now again, it didn't take that color, so need to click on it one more time like this. And now it looks nice. I'm gonna hit update. And now we can go to the home page and refresh it. And you see, scroll down, that you have a new block here. Looks nice. Have education and experience in one place. And let's go back to Elementor. The next block is our portfolio block. That's what I want to add. But again, I'm going to come here, take just this section, and I'm going to duplicate it and drag it to the bottom here like this. So now I don't need to add the clouds and stuff. Looks nice like that. And just we can delete all of these guys, so all the columns, delete. Actually, I'm just gonna delete the columns. We need just one column structure like this. And now you can click on this mosaic and we can add posts grid. You can add it right now there. And right now this is a post, so this is a blog post, and you will not see anything else, so you don't have a portfolio yet. But that's what we installed right now. So let's go back to the dashboard, and here you can see that we have a new menu here, portfolio, and you can go to all portfolio items. And this is where you're going to create your portfolio pages, and these will also appear in the portfolio block here. So let's start. Let's create one and add new. And here, if you scroll down, and you can choose the content layout. So you have Astra settings. I'm just going to select the full width contained. And you'll notice that we don't have the option for Elementor. That's because we need to set it. So let's go to Elementor and right click on settings. Just open it in a new tab. And we're going to add portfolio and then save changes. And close this one. We won't need it. So now let's give it the name. You can give it already the case study or whatever you want it to be. So this is the name that will show up everywhere. So this is the title. So just add the title and publish. Publish again. Let's refresh this page because I want to edit this in Elementor. And you see you have now the button here at top. You can edit in Elementor. And this works exactly the same as the previous one. So now you can start drag and dropping things in here. So you could start with heading. So just I'm gonna add it here like this, and this will be the header one. And just need to add some padding on top, something like 120. Unlink it, zeros here, like this. Okay, good. But actually, the padding on the bottom I don't need as much because I want to have an image there. And now what I need to do is add a, say this one. I'm gonna add a big image here. So coming here, drag and drop an image like this, huge. Let's choose an image, upload. I already have some images here, just for example, something like this. And insert it You can change the sizes here to something smaller. So for example, we could have it smaller, and then here I click to add new column. And actually I'm gonna make it something like this. And now I can add a text section here. Something like that. You can also edit it more here. You could add links, more images, any kind of block here as with any Elementor block. So now let's update it. Let's say you finish with this. Let's update it. And go back to the dashboard. In this case, it's the portfolio overview. Like this. And back. No, actually, I want to see the portfolio. Everything in portfolio. So one thing what I didn't do is I didn't add this to category, or I didn't give it any tags. So here on the right, portfolio category, it's important that you add them because this is what you can filter on, all of the portfolio items on your homepage. So let's say this will be about CRO. You just add it there, and analytics. And you can click either on this button or just on enter on your keyboard, and it will add it there. So now this case study will be in both of these categories, and there'll be more categories to come. If you want, you can add tags, but for me they're not very useful. In featured image is actually the image that will show up in homepage, so in the portfolio grid. So it's important to add it. Also, if you want to show an excerpt, then you could add it here, but I'm not a big fan of that. So I want the whole text to show up once the user lands on the case study. And the rest, I think we are okay. So update. You could also preview this page. So let's do that. So you see you have a case study here. Obviously it doesn't look that good right now, but because I didn't have time to style it, but I just wanted to show you how you create this. And now I can close that window and we go back to portfolio. So overview. Now you see we have one item here. Then let's create a few more just so that we have some examples. Then I'll pause the video while I add the two other ones. And you can see now we have 3 items. And if I go to Elementor, I save this, so I update it and then refresh the page. And scroll down again. Now I can edit this post grid, and now I can, instead of this, select portfolio. And you can see you already start seeing those images. And now you can update these things here. So for example, for taxonomies, you can add portfolio. So then you see as you add these here, you just click into it and then there's a drop down. You see that they appear here as the filters. And now you can also reduce the post per page. I'm going to keep it to 3 for now. And for the order, you can change the order. For example, no order will just be the order they were added to WordPress. And then you have post content. You see it's really hard to see these elements right now, but for me, I don't need this taxonomy information. I'm gonna disable some of these just because I feel like they're not very useful. For example, this excerpt, it shows some of the text already, pre-shows it. It's really up to you if you like this stuff. I like to keep it very clean. No author, the publishing date. I'm not sure it's important for a portfolio, and even the taxonomy like this. All right, this looks good, but now I want to also see my text. So I'm gonna go to style, and here heading color, primary grid filter. These are these guys here. We can switch them to white, also the hover, and then this the one selected filter, I want to have it yellow. And typography, I think I'll just select the primary so that it's a bit thicker, like that. Then you have grid thumbnail, but to be honest, the colors don't matter right now. I think this is fine. There's nothing wrong with it. Then entry title. So this is this one here. So I'm just gonna change it to white. And white for hover. Could be also something a bit, something different, like a bit grayish, like this. Yeah, very subtle. I don't know if you see it. Now, H3, I'm gonna keep H3 as these, but the heading will be H2. So all of these headings actually should be H2. So I'm gonna check if that's the case. Yes. Yes, except this one should be the header one. So then you have like a proper taxonomy on your site, proper structure on your site. Good. Scroll back. Also, I noticed that this is slightly different, so I want to change the typography for this one. I'm going to use primary like that. So now it's more in line with the others. Okay, good. This looks good. If I click on these, even in Elementor, it already updates things. You see that they change as I click on this. So the filters work nicely. Then just click on update. One thing I noticed that the read more is missing. So I'm gonna just come here, post content, and I want to see the read more here, like this. It's there, very unnoticeable. Let's change the color of it so then it will pop up more. In this case, actually, maybe the blue one will be nice. Yes, like that. Like this. I like this structure right now. And in the settings, you can change this title. So we could call this case studies. And if for some reason you don't want them to be filterable, then you just remove it and the filters go away. And here you can choose the portfolio category, although in this case it's already correct one, but just to make sure it's correct. And then gutter, it just means the gaps here. So if you want it to be that the images are close to each other, you can do it like that. So it's really up to you how much you like. I'll leave it like this. Okay, I think the portfolio looks great. If you add more items, obviously you're gonna have them here either under each other, or you can also have a scroller here. So I'm gonna update this page. And now always double check that everything works on the front end. So just refresh your website and you see that you have everything here and it works nice. And if you click into it, you'll end up on a page. This doesn't look that good right now just because I didn't spend too much time on this. I think if you have some portfolio items, you want to really spend time on this so that it works nicely. And you can also go from one portfolio to another with these buttons here. You see this is completely empty just because I didn't add anything to this case study too. So let's go back. Nice. Can you show your portfolio?
I don't do requests.
Back to Elementor. Next section will be Instagram. So if you want to show off certain parts of your life, you can add the Instagram block there. So let's go and, so what do I have? I have the lighter blue here, so I want to have the darker. So I'm gonna come here and duplicate this section and drag it to the bottom here. And for the Instagram, we don't need, we just need one column. So I'm gonna delete this one and just delete this one. So now we have one column here. So for Instagram, we need to go back to dashboard, and you can go here at the bottom of your menu bar. You have Instagram feed and settings. And this is where you need to connect your account with this website. It's pretty easy if you just click on this button and you select if it's personal or business. In my case, it's personal. And now you log in. And then it will ask you if you can log in with this info. Just say yes, save info, and then give the access to this plugin. Continue. And here, just connect this account. Now you see here successfully connected, and you see that you have, it expires in 59 days, so you will just need to refresh it. It's no biggie though. Now let's customize this a little bit in the second tab here. You can select, in the free version, you can't select that many things, to be honest, but what you can do is, you can select how many photos you show. So for example here, I don't want to show 20, I'm just going to show, let's say 3 by 3, so 9. And columns, I'm going to change to 3. And padding, I think 10 will be fine, just to showcase this. You can also disable this on mobile. I'm going to save the changes. Also, you can sort the photos. Really up to you how you want to change this. And I think the basic setup is actually quite good. I'm not going to go into depth of this plugin. What we can do now is go to the tab display your feed. And what you need to do is copy this code here. Oh no, sorry. You need to copy this code here. So it's gonna have 9 images and 3 columns. So now back to Elementor and Mosaic, and now you type in short code, and this is something for Elementor to know, or actually for WordPress to know what to use. So these short codes are like little hacks or little pieces of code that WordPress knows what to do with them. So in this case, by entering this, it knows that it needs to load the Instagram. So I can see that there's a big gap here, so I'm gonna reduce it. So there's a quite large gap. So I'm gonna go to advanced. I'm gonna change this to 60, like this. Yeah, nice. Update. Now nothing shows up here, and that's fine. It might take a bit of time to show up. If you go to home page and refresh the page, you see that you see some of the images. You will see the videos in a bit. It just haven't had time to download everything yet. This is not something your user will see. It's actually just for now. I think it takes a bit of time for the plugin to set everything up. So maybe in a minute you will see that this section is all good. So if I refresh it again, you can see that I see all of these things. And what's cool is that you can load more and also follow on Instagram like this. All right, cool. That's the Instagram block. In Elementor, you might not even see those images. I don't think it loads them here, which is fine. The last section of this page will be a contact form. So for that, we need to just add a new section. I'm gonna add here a three column section like this. And now we can adjust these to have, like, let's say 20 and 60 and 20 like this. And the middle one will contain the contact form. And right now we can just add a short code again. Short code. We can add it here, but honestly, but for now we don't have it, so I'm gonna update this. And let's head to WordPress. And now we need a contact. You have a new menu here, and just click on the contact forms. You can see that you have already here an example, so we can take a look at it. And feel free to just use this. This one has a name, email, subject line, and your message, which actually works quite well for me. But I already prepared a contact form, and I'm going to paste it in here like this. If you want this code, you can grab it from the link in the description. Also, for in-depth tutorial about contact form 7, just click on the YouTube card at the top right corner of your screen. It should appear there. It's the white thingy. And don't forget to save this. And now you can just grab this code here at the top, just copy it. And now let's go back to Elementor, add it to the shortcode section. Don't forget to apply it.
Any ideas?
If you scroll down, some of these sections don't show up now. That's fine. I'm gonna update this also. And refresh the page. And here you can see the contact form. Right now it's not connected correctly, so we need to change that. And also we need to add a title, because right now it makes no sense. So let me add the title. So one of the plugins that we installed actually has a lot of different sections. So it also has this, where is it? Need to scroll down. It's Live Mesh. And you have this heading section. And what's cool about it, it has a heading and also like a subtitle section, which makes it a bit easier to add. So let's say I just want to add it here, get in touch, and short description. I already have it here. Gonna copy it. And I want it to be left aligned like this. Style H3. No, actually for this one I want to have H2. And change the heading color. Nice. And subtitle, the white one actually works well, so I'm not going to change anything. The short text is fine as white. And I want this contact form to stand out a bit more, so I'm going to click on it, right click on it, edit shortcode. And in advance you can add also background color to it, so just add it here like this. Doesn't look like much right now because we also need to add some padding. So let's try with 20. You see now it looks a bit better. Maybe 30 like this. Great. And if I refresh the home page, yep, you have now everything. Like you can select everything from here. Looks good. But right now this form is not connected to anything, so I want to change that. So let's go back to edit the contact, and on this page let's update things. So to will be always to this. I want to all the emails that somebody submits in the contact form, they come to this email. From it will just come from myself. So in that case, in from field you can just leave your name, for example, and the email, or just leave the email, up to you. I'm gonna leave just the email like this. And then subject, contact form, and you see here your subject. Now in this case it won't work. You need to change it to message. You see here, these are your fields in this form. So message, and you have to have these brackets around it, so otherwise it won't work. Same thing here. Your name is not something we want, but it's first name, last name. Make sure it's case sensitive, so make sure you got it right. Like this. First, last name. No. So I'm gonna update it like this. Right, should be fine now. And now let's save this. And I've just noticed I removed the reply to email, but obviously we need that so that we can reply to the user. So in the additional headers, just type in reply-to and then the name of the email field. Then save. And come to the home page, refresh it. And here at the bottom you see I can submit it now, so I'm gonna add over it. And I'm interested in a question. Like this. Get to the chopper. And now here you see, thank you for your message. It has been sent. That's great. Now we can go to the email in the C panel. Here just search for mail. Email accounts, check email, and here open up, and you see here you have questions, which is correct. That's the subject line I had. One of the options you see, it came from this email. This is the subject and the body here. So this way you can start answering your clients, your recruiters or whatever, right?
Wrong.
So back to Elementor, I noticed that this doesn't really fit nicely. And actually, for the last part, I don't want to have this cloud, so I'm gonna edit it like this. For the last part, I'm gonna do something different. So for the bottom one, I'm gonna invert it like this. Yep. And now I'll come to this lower section like this, edit section, style. Oh, actually advanced first. I want to add a bit of padding here. So top padding, let's say 60. Oops. And now style, shape divider. Now I'm going to select the top one and clouds, invert it as well. And let's change the color like this. Now you have like a small drawing here, or like a divider. You can also flip it, so then it looks like this, but you can play around with something like this as well. It actually didn't work out as good as I thought, so I'm not gonna use it. Just gonna delete it. And for this one, edit. And also I'm gonna hide it. And now the last part of the website is just, after this, it's just one dark background, which is fine for me. Okay, just click on update once you're happy. And now let's take a look what we have on the site. Now we have the About Me section where you can download something, skills, education. You get case study, whatever this is. Need to change it. I misspelled this word a bit. Then you have this filters here, Instagram feed, and obviously now you have also the contact form, but now this gap is a bit too long. So let's change that quickly. Edit section, advanced. So the 120 is a bit too much. And 60 should be more than enough, maybe even less, like this. Update. Step 8. Let's add these sections to the menu. So one thing now I would like to have also in the menu, that when you click on it, it scrolls down to the right section, and we can achieve that really easily. So let's create that. So just go to, for example, the skills section and this header, right click on it, edit heading, and in advanced you have this section called ID, and just type in, for example, skills like this. Same thing, go to the next header, edit heading, advanced, and CSS ID, give it an ID, for example, experience. No spaces, just dashes in between words. Experience, and then for example, this one, again, advanced. Here, case studies, and actually since I'm here, I'm gonna also update this one. And Instagram, I'm not gonna connect, and then contact us like this. CSS ID, contact. Now remember these IDs because we're gonna need them in a bit. Then update, and I'm gonna close also this tab, we won't need it. So let's go to WordPress dashboard, and now we can go to appearance and menus. Right now it's quite empty here, but let's add a menu name. This will be the main menu, and add it as the primary menu, so check that one and create menu. And now on the left you can add all kinds of things there. So for example, you could add posts, custom links, or categories, but now there's nothing there, so not much we can add. So I'm gonna add custom link. So here, all you have to do is type in hashtag, and the first section we had was skills. So that's what I'm gonna add. It has to be spelled the same way as the ID we just added. And link text will be skills. This is what's gonna show up in menu. So then click on add menu. And you can see skills appears here now. Now we can add another one. So URL again, hashtag. What was the next section? It was experience. And here also experience. Add to menu. Now we have next one. Really don't remember what the section. Case studies. And then we have contact. So case studies. And this link text, this is what will appear in menus. So make sure it's typed in correctly. Add to menu. And last one was contact. Here I can add contact me, for example. Now save menu. Now if you go to the home page, you can refresh the page. And you can see now you have menu items here. If you click on them, you'll scroll down to the right section. You see, like this. And it's a smooth scroll, so it doesn't just jump. And contact me, like this. Awesome, looks really great and works really well. I want to add a few more things to this website. For example, we're missing some of the social icons here at the top, and I want to just add a bit of more sparkle to this homepage. And this is really a bonus thing, so I want to just show you how you can do it. So go to your Elementor, and then if you scroll down, scroll up to this section, and in the mosaic just choose HTML and drag this section here just below the button, like that. I will put this code in the description of this video, so don't worry, you don't need to copy it from here, so you can just go there and copy it from my website. But anyway, you paste it here, and then what you need to do is you have to edit this section, and in advanced you have to add a CSS ID, which in this case is particles-javascript. So you just add it like this, and then click on update. And then if you go to your homepage and refresh it, you should see these particles floating around. Now, if you want them to float beneath this image and this text, then you go to Elementor and you just simply, for example, for the image, edit video, you go to advanced, and there's this Z index. You give it a value of 1, and same thing for the heading, advanced, and there's Z index, just give it 1, and this text block as well, same thing, and then update. And now if you go to the home page, refresh the page, you'll see that these sparkles or whatever, they are behind the image. And it just adds a bit more extra to the site. But just be aware that this does slow down the website slightly. So it's something extra. If you really like it and you're not too worried if the website loads slightly slower, then you can implement this. And one more thing, I forgot to add the Z index for this image. So for this button, so I'm gonna add it, update it.
Oh my God! Wow! Oh my God!
Okay, and to add the social icons to the menu, we need to go back to the menu section. And actually here we can't do anything, but we can do is go to customize. So under appearance, customize. And here you have header, and then primary menu. And you have this one, last item in menu, none. But we need to set it to widget. And you can see we have this thing here now. So then go back and back again. And here we have a widget section. Just click on it. And then header. Add a widget. And now here you can type social. And you should see social profiles here. like this. Now this will disappear. You can give this a title, but it's not gonna show up in the menu. Like this. And here you can add social profiles. So if you click on this one, add profile, you can give it a title. So Facebook, for example. And then you can add the link to your Facebook profile. So the full link. So that would be www.facebook.com/ whatever is your username or page name, or this is up to you. So just fill in it completely. Then I would suggest you choose new page to target. No follow. You can also enable it, keep it as is, and then you can choose an icon. Here you type in Facebook, like this. Just click on choose icon. And now if you go scroll down and click on apply, you'll see you have a social icon here. Actually, let's just remove this title because it does appear on the page. Again, apply. Now you see the Facebook icon is there. I'm gonna change the color in just a sec, but let's add the other one. So let's say I want to add also Instagram. Again, just add the URL. I'm just putting a hashtag for now, and then new page, choose icon, Insta, like this. Make sure it's added here, and then click on choose icon. And then let's add another one. This one will be YouTube. Link again to YouTube. And then new page and choose icon and search for YouTube. Like this. Choose the icon. And now scroll down and apply. You can see now you have the icons here, but they're a bit off color. So I'm going to change that. So here you have different stylings. Oh yeah, here you can actually remove the title. So you could keep the title if you want, but for me it's okay like this. Inline stacked. This is if you put stacked, they will be on top of each other. Inline is they're next to each other. Icon style, simple. I like that. And icon color will be custom. And I'm gonna give a white icon color, and that should work. Also I can hover, it's gonna be white. And here you can adjust the width, so for example 20 pixels or even bigger. I'm gonna try with 20. You won't see anything happening until you press on apply. Just here I'm going to add space between icon and text, and then space between the icons, also 10 pixels. Then apply. And now you can see that this has been applied. Now this is a bit too much, so I'm going to add a bit less, so 7, apply. And then once you're happy with this, click on publish. And now you can go to your home page, refresh it, and the icons appear here. Once you're happy with the page, you also need to check that it works on mobile. So what you can do is you're on a home page, right click anywhere and choose inspect element. It will open up this console tab, and here you have an icon of tablet and mobile. Just click on it. This should be a similar process on all browsers. This also works in Chrome and Safari, same thing. So now you can see here you have a mobile page. Refresh the page just in case, because sometimes some code doesn't work because you're going from desktop to mobile. But now here you can see that you have your website and it's nice, looks good and aligned on mobile as well. You can see here, so I could add a bit more space, for example, here, but other than that, case studies also look good. I can click, they get updated. Then you have the Instagram feed here, and get in touch is also there. And then if I scroll up, can also, you have the hamburger menu. Now you see this is white, and this is something that we need to change in the menus. So let's do that right now. We come here in the customizer. This is the right place for it. We're gonna go back from this widgets and again back to the main one. So in this one, you just go to the header and transparent header, and you can scroll down and you have the colors here. So let's start changing these. So background color, what we need to do is actually click on this mobile icon here, and now all the updates will apply only to mobile. You will see that here you have a mobile icon. That's how it indicates. So background color, so I'm gonna update it to the secondary color, so something like that. No, actually for this one, no, not the background, but we need the menu. And here I can add the background color. Again, you see there's a mobile icon here, just indicates that we're in the mobile view. Oops, selected wrong. I can copy it here. And now if I come here and click on it, you see that we can see the menu here. Now it's up to you if you like this color or maybe you want something else, but I like to have it that it's slightly different. And then I can go back to desktop. And you can see on desktop it's okay, but as soon as I go to mobile, the color changes. So that's great. Now let's double check that it also worked here. They worked on the homepage, so let's refresh it. And now here, if you click on it, nice, it looks good like this. You can close it. And then if we go back to the desktop view, so we just close it, you see that the menu looks good, the icons look great, and the page is more or less done. One more thing I noticed on the homepage is if you scroll down, you have kind of ugly looking footer here. So either you can remove it or add it at least a proper color. So just go to your WordPress dashboard, and in the appearance, customize, here we can do something about it. So you have a footer section here, and you have footer widget and footer bar. So let's take a look at the bar. And you see here you have your, if I scroll down, the copyright text, which is here. I don't want to have powered by anybody, just gonna add it like this. And I'm just gonna use the current year, nothing else. Copyright like this. That's fine for me. And I'm gonna change the border color. I'm just gonna clear it and no border at all. And then the background, I can select from here to the primary one, like this. Yeah, I just wanted to blend in. Now you could create something, you could add a shape divider to this form, and then you can have a footer that looks also nice. For me, I don't need a footer right now. The page is quite simple, so there's no need for it. And so I'm going to publish it, and now it looks a bit more professional this way. Step 9 is to optimize your website with plugins. So let's get back to those plugins that we installed earlier and enable them. So let's take a look how fast this page loads. So now just grab the URL and open up a new tab and search for GT metrics. And in the search bar, just type in your URL and then test your site. This takes a few seconds to minutes, depends how much traffic there is. And once it's loaded, you'll see your performance report, and you see how fast it loads, the page speed score, and the why slow score, which is a bit harder to explain. But anyway, this is a great place to start where to improve things. And I wanted to show you what it looks like right now before we optimize this page. And you'll see the big difference when you actually turn on few of the plugins. So let's do that now. You go back to this page and just close the customizer. And I'll go just to I'm here now in the WordPress dashboard. And from here, let's go to here on the left, performance and general settings. and just scroll down and enable the page cache. Also enable the minify. It'll just warn you that there might be some problems with this one, but as long as you update the plugin, it should work fine with everything. So and then just click I understand the risks. And you can keep these as default. And then here you scroll down, enable the database cache and the object cache. CDN we're not going to use right now. And just keep scrolling, enable the lazy loading, and the rest you can keep as is, and then just click on one of these save settings and purge cache. So one thing about the cache plugin is when you do updates on your website, you time to time have to come here, performance, and purge all cache. And this way it will remove all the files that it's created and refresh your website. So sometimes you might end up in a situation where you've updated something, but then you go to your website and you don't see the change. It's because of the cache. Just refresh it, remove the old data, and then you'll see the change. So don't forget to use this performance. All right. And now you can see that actually the page speed score is in 90s, and also wide slow score is in above 80, which is all in green. So there's a few things that we could improve. For example, the images are a bit too big, and we're serving too big images. You could install a content delivery network. This could be a much faster website, but we have also the particles. There's video loading here, and you have also this thing loaded, and the Instagram is loaded. So this all takes a bit of time to load, but still your website is pretty fast to load. All right, let me next show you just quickly the SEO plugin that's installed. So here on the left, if you scroll down, you see SEO. Just click on general. This is called Yoast SEO. It's a very popular plugin and it has a lot of features. I want to just mention that here under Webmaster Tools, this is where you can actually verify your website with Google, which will be important down the road. And you have also under search appearance here on the left, you have more settings. This tool is very extensive, so if you want to know more about this, how to set up everything, check out the link in the description, and it just talks more about this plugin. By default, the settings are already pretty good, and the most noticeable is when you use it in an article or a post. So if you go to post, and there's only one here, so I'll open this one. If you click on edit, so all your posts and all your pages will have the same block. It's the Yoast SEO block, and it helps you to create a content that actually is also good for SEO. And if you want to learn more about all the features of this plugin, just check out the link in the description of this video. And the next plugin I want to show you is called Updraft Plus, and you can reach it here at the top. It's a plugin for backups. So to backup stuff, you can go here at the top, you see Updraft Plus, and then select settings. And on this page, you'll be able to set automatic backups. So you have two things to set up here, files to backup and database. You need both. So let's set those to weekly. And then how many copies you want to retain. Since I have weekly, I'm going to just set to 4. So that means I have backups for a month. Then there's an option to have remote storage. So for example, my favorite is Google Drive or Dropbox. And that way you actually have all your backups somewhere in a remote location, and they're not dependent on your web hosting, because by default, all these backups will be saved on your web hosting, which is in 99% cases okay. But if you want to learn how to actually do a remote storage, then check out the link in the description. I have there how to do it with Google Drive and Dropbox, I think. Then if you scroll down, you can keep these as is. And then here, if you want to get an email every time a backup is done, you can check this one, and the rest just keep them as is. And then don't forget to save changes. Okay, and then once it's done, you can go to Backup Restore tab. You can see here that next scheduled backup is March 29th, which is a week from today, and it's going to make a automatic backup. Then if you want a backup from what you have right now, you can just click on Backup Now. And here you just choose Include Database, include your files, and that's about it. And then just click on Backup Now. And here you'll see it starts to backing up your files. Since you don't have that much stuff yet, it'll be fairly quick. And this is the way you can actually set up backups automatically, just so you have a peace of mind when you're doing updates on your website that nothing goes wrong. And then another security plugin that's really good one is this Akismet Anti-Spam, and you can see it under Settings. And here, if you click on it, it's very useful, especially when you start getting some traffic on your website. You'll get so much spam, so many comments that are not real, they're just generated by robots. I really recommend you to go through this. You just need to register an account, and then you're able to utilize this plugin. It's free and it works really well, and you'll notice you'll make a big difference. You'll filter out most of the spam. So I really recommend this one, especially if you're doing a blog or something where there's could be a lot of comments.
Oh, really?
And the last plugin I want to show you is the Limit Login Attempts to WordPress Admin. And that's something, again, in the settings, it's the last one here, Limit Login Attempts. If you click on it, it's already by default, it's enabled. And what's great about it, if somebody's trying to hack your website, you're able to lock it down, and it helps just with general security. Take this security seriously. Don't be this guy.
I don't need backup. I have right on my side.
In step 10, we are going to make sure you are able to track how many visitors come to your site. That's where Google Analytics will help us, because what you can measure, you can't improve. And don't worry, it's totally free. All right, let's install Google Analytics on our website. And Google Analytics is just a website tracking tool, so you'll be able to see how many people come to your site, from what country they came from, and what device they used. There's a lot of features that come with Google Analytics, and the best part is it's a free tool. So let's get started by just going to Google and typing in Google Analytics. And here, just choose the first option, and it'll ask you to sign in. So you need a Google account to create Google Analytics, but you don't need Gmail for that. So you can link your Hotmail or any other email to Google account. If you don't have a Google account yet, then check out the video that will appear on your screen's top right corner now. And there I'll show you how to set it up, even if you don't have Gmail. So let's just sign in. And once you're logged in, you'll see a page like this or something similar. They change this quite often, so it might look slightly different than yours. But what you need to do is just click on Start Measuring or Sign Up or whatever that is. And here it'll ask you to create an account. So for the account name, usually you put in your business name, or in my case, it'll be the name of the website. But some businesses have multiple accounts, so that's why you also want to maybe consider to put it with your business name. But really up to you. And then they ask a bunch of questions here. You don't need to agree to any of these. It's just for Google to track what you do and improve the services, but really there's no drawbacks if you just opt out. No problem. Then click on Next. And here we're going to choose which type of account we want to measure. And for us, it's web, so it's pre-selected already. So that's great. Then scroll down and click on Next again. And now it's asking for the actual website name. So previously it was more of a business name. Now it's website name. I'm going to just use the same, the tips with punch, just without the HTTPS, like this. So this just shows up in the menus and stuff like that. And this is important. Here, choose HTTPS. And then just put in your full URL here. So HTTPS, the tipswithpunch.com. In your case, it might be even with www. I don't use it, so that's why I don't even put it there. Then just select the industry. So I'll choose just other here. And then just choose your reporting time zone. This is quite important so that you know when the day starts and ends. In my case, it will be Netherlands, so I'm going to choose that one. And then just click on create. Here Google will ask you to accept their terms and conditions. You can read through them, and if you agree with them, just check this checkbox and accept them. So here they'll ask you if you want some email communication, stuff like that. For now, I'm gonna just hit save, and for me that's okay. And this is basically, you can close these. And this is basically your Google Analytics dashboard, and you'll need this code in just a sec. It sounds all like it's very hard to do and stuff, but really this is, you just copy paste this to one field in WordPress. So let's head to WordPress. I'm here in my dashboard, and here on the left you have plugins, and then click on add new. And in the search box type in Astra hooks. And it'll be this first plugin that shows up. Just click on install now. And once it's ready, just click on activate. All right, once it's done activating, what you need to do is come here, appearance and customize. On the left, just go to hooks and then header. And here, this is where we need to grab this code. So copy it and then paste it in here. So nothing will happen here. You won't even see the code because it's a JavaScript code and it's completely unnoticeable. Just click on publish. And you can exit this one. And let's just clear our cache just to make sure that there's nothing interfering with the new code. And then if you go to the home page of your new website and then refresh it, you won't see anything here, but if you come to Google Analytics and click on this little home icon, if you click on it, you should see now that you have a visitor here. This slash just means it's a home page. And that's it. We've installed Google Analytics. So anytime you come here, you'll be able to see more data about your website. Now, don't get worried. In the beginning, there won't be much traffic. It's probably mostly you. And if you want to know more about Google Analytics, I have a short overview of analytics, and you can find that video in the description. And hopefully after some time, your Google Analytics starts looking like this, where you start seeing some data. You'll have much more data here, and you can dive deeper, and you have active users on the right and things like this. You'll be able to see which pages they visit. And I just love Google Analytics in general, but you do need traffic to use this. So I think in the beginning it's important, just so you know how many people visit your website. So you can stalk your visitors like this. Step 11, you made it to the last step. Once you're completely happy with your website, it's good that you notify Google that it's available. Now, there is a chance that Google already picked up your website, but let's make sure it knows about the new site. Next, let's register our website with Google's Search Console, which will enable us later to actually tell Google where our website is and what kind of pages there are. It's a tool for all the webmasters to control their website. Later on, you'll be able to see what kind of keywords people use to find your website on Google Search. So again, go to Google and type in Google Search Console, and then just choose the first option. You'll be greeted with this view. It might look slightly different. They change these quite often. You might have a sign in button or something like that, but since we already signed in to Google, just click on Start Now. All right, you land on this page where you have two options. Basically, the left one, I find it's a bit harder to set up, but maybe in the long run, it's a bit better. Since you're just starting out with websites and stuff, I would go with URL prefix. It's much quicker to set up and also verify. And we're going to use the URL prefix. But if you want still to try the domain, I have a video how to do it on HostPapa, and it will appear in your screen's top right corner right now. So let's verify with the URL prefix, and this is really important that you type in your whole URL here and paste it here. It's important that you include the HTTPS as well, and that you either use www or you don't. Really, I think the easiest way is to go to your home page, refresh the page, and then just grab the URL you get from the browser. And then click on continue. So the cool thing is, because we've just set up Google Analytics, Google is able to verify it automatically that we actually own this website. That's all you need to do. Done. Alright, in some cases, some of you might not be verified with Google Analytics. In that case, you'll see something like this. You'll have few ways to verify that you actually own the domain, so that Google knows that you own this and they can show you all the data. So in that case, what you need to do is open up this HTML tag, you open it, and then they have this code. All you need to do is grab this part that's inside the content. Don't take the quotes, just grab this one, copy, and then you come to your WordPress dashboard, and here you go to SEO, and then general, then webmaster tools, and here you have Google verification code. You just paste it here like that, save changes, and then you would go back to Google and you would click on verify. So now I've verified with both ways. So that's all you need to do. Done. And now you can go here, search for property, and you see you have your website there. And you'll be greeting you with your start guide and stuff. You can click on it and you can learn more if you want to. There's great videos on YouTube introducing you to this, all of this. And right now you don't have anything because your website is so new that Google hasn't gathered any information about you. It might not even know that your website exists yet. Okay, let's do one more thing before we end this tutorial. You go to sitemaps. In short, sitemap is just basically a map of your website, and it looks a bit weird, but there's just a lot of links after each other, and it tells search engines like Google so how the pages are connected to each other. So what you need to do here, you already knows your domain name, so you need to enter sitemap _ index.xml. To check that it's correctly, just copy this, go to your home page of your website, and then / and the same one, sitemap _ index.xml. You'll see you land on a page like this because Yoast SEO plugin has created automatically this sitemap. And you don't need to update this. It will automatically always update when you have new pages and posts. So cool, that's the right one. Then just click on submit. This will notify Google that your website is ready to be indexed. It will still might take anywhere from 2 to 3 weeks. For some it's a bit faster, for some it's longer, but it'll take some time for Google to actually visit your website. Let's say in a week or two you can start already checking. You just go to Google, and what you do is you start typing in site like this, site with colon, and then your domain name, and then your domain name, and then you hit enter. Now, depending on your site and how long it took you to actually set up all content and stuff like that, you either see some results here or you don't see anything. If you don't see anything, that means your website hasn't been indexed yet. But if you do start seeing URLs like this, it means Google has indexed your website. In theory, your pages will start showing up in Google results. Now, in practice, when you're a new website, it takes time to start seeing traffic. And even then, you need to work hard to get some traffic on your website. So then after some time, you should start seeing some reports like this, where you can see how many people clicked on Google search results with your website. And then you're able to go inside and dig deeper, for example, which queries they came with, and what's the average position of your website and stuff like that. Wow, You've made it this far. Congratulations. You have now a fully optimized resume or portfolio website which Google hopefully indexes soon. My name is Robert and I'm your website guy. If you're looking to learn more about how to improve your website, get more traffic and other website related stuff, consider subscribing and hitting the bell icon so you get notified about new website tutorials. Since you have now fully optimized website, next you should learn how to get traffic on your website. I have a detailed on-page SEO tutorial that will help you with that. That's the first video. And if you're curious how long it will take for your website to appear in Google, check out the second video. Whoos!